Hi everyone, it's Alicia Louise Lillington, 34-year-old mum of a 21-month-old, soon to be 22 months. She's going to be 2 very soon, but I was just thinking I should call her 1 more often because that's cute. She's 1 actually. I recorded a video recently, earlier this year. In case you haven't been following along, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma after about 6 months of being unwell. I tried to record a video the other day just talking about how I'm feeling right now. It's Christmas tomorrow, 2025, and everything feels a bit heavy. It feels heavy for me. National events recently, December 2025 in Australia. I'm not going to mention them, but it just all feels heavy. And I think, something I've observed is that when you get close to the holiday season and you have a moment to reflect, if your life's going good, then it can highlight that. If your life's going challenging, or let's call it challenging, that can come out. So I think Christmas time and the holiday season is not a fun time for everyone. And I want to say this without sounding too depressed, or because I feel like I'm in a very fortunate position, but I just really resonate with anyone out there who might be finding the holidays a difficult time. I know that, some people experience loss. Some people have gone through a health journey like myself. Some people are away from loved ones or have difficult relationships, and that can all come out at this time. So especially I think something I've noticed in Australia, it's really hot at Christmas, and when it's hot weather, I think sometimes there's a lot more violence that's just around. I don't know, maybe I've just observed that myself, but I think when you're really hot, it can be hard to regulate your emotions, and if you're not fortunate enough to have air conditioning or a cool place to go. I know I grew up without air conditioning, and I definitely felt more emotional without the coolness, but I went to the pool, or I had a cold bath, or put a cold face washer on, and that always helped a lot, was sitting in front of the fan, and those were like happy times. Or going outside in the sprinkler under the hose, if you're lucky to have that, or if you are somewhere near a lake or the ocean, could be a good opportunity to cool down. But yeah, I just feel I recorded something, and I sound like, when I look back at it, actually I think quite depressed and sad, and I think sometimes you need to just check in with yourself and see how you're feeling. I had to have a lot of conversations with my husband lately, because I think I was just going so hard so long with trying to be stoic and turn my journey into an inspirational story, but it didn't feel truthful to me. I've this year, and I wanted to do this post about the things that I've lost and the things that I've found rather than gained. I don't feel like gained is the right word. I think it's like lost and found. And lost my hair, lost my identity, lost weight, but that was when I was sick. Lost a lot of things, but there's a lot that I found too, and I think I'm still finding things as I go. I'm still finding that next chapter. It takes time. Like, as I've said before, they say it takes 6 to 12 months to recover from after you're in remission and recovering from cancer and chemo and all of those things, if you have the type of cancer I had, which is one that you can recover from. But I only imagine what it's like if you have a worse prognosis, or that's so full on. There's so many full on concepts that we're dealing with, and I think I haven't acknowledged the weight of that sometimes. I just really want it to be this inspiring story for everyone, but I think part of the inspiring story, or what I'm learning lately, is that you have to acknowledge the journey you're on and how hard it actually is. And so that's something I'm working through. I went back to work very soon after chemo, and for me, that's what worked, because I could focus on something else besides being a patient. I could get back to a sense of being myself. Everything just feels tangled up together, and I just feel like I'm still unraveling this identity and illness and being a new mum. It's all just tangled up there. And I feel a little bit, like I've said this before as well, but I feel a little bit robbed of that time with my daughter from being sick. But again, no time is promised, so I should feel lucky to have the time that I have with her. Lately, some things have been coming up about relationships with friends and, even, I guess, family friends, people who've been in our life for a long time. I was chatting to my counsellor about it, and I said I have these really good relationships with people, but my counsellor encouraged me to be more vulnerable and to actually share how I've been struggling, because maybe, she asked if I've had anyone that I could really talk to about how everything's been going, and I'm like, I've got people there, I can definitely talk to them, but there's some serious things that have been weighing on my mind, and I've been feeling quite sad and stressed, and I don't know what's next for me, and that's really challenging, and I can't relate to anyone where I'm currently at, and so she encouraged me to have those vulnerable conversations, and to tell people, I'm gonna tell you something, and you don't need to reply straight away, but I'd like you to sit with this and give it some space, and then maybe we can talk about it when you're ready. And I think that's a good approach, because when you text someone or talk to someone, it's you want to resolve it right then and there, or you want to be there for someone, but I know it's hard when people are going through their own things. And some of the people that I reach out to, I definitely am the person that says, hey, how you going? And that's me reaching out for support, but I don't think that necessarily shows exactly what I'm going through. So I probably need a bit of a different approach, but I need a way to talk to these people, to have those vulnerable conversations. I don't really feel like I need more people in my life. I think it's just being vulnerable and talking about exactly how I'm feeling, and having challenging conversations with the people who are around me. Sorry, motorbikes driving past, just having a little bit of a holiday here in Wollongong. It's about trying to have those conversations and difficult conversations with the people that I love and that are already close to me and in my life. But I don't want to be a burden, and I don't want to be a challenge for those people. So that's what I'm finding a bit of a struggle. Maybe I'm the person that always puts on this, what would you call it? A+ student type persona, or person that goes in. I go and achieve a lot, but it's actually really hard for me to achieve a lot of those things. I find I have a lot of anxiety, and I find it hard to do things even with my public speaking. I'm always nervous before a speech, or doing acting, or doing modeling. All of these things that I do, I find it really hard, but I find the payoff so good. I find it really cool to be something that's your absolute fear and really, really scary, and then if you can do it and overcome it, I think that's really cool, and I get a thrill out of it. But I don't ever want to come across as someone that's easy for. It's not, none of that's easy for me. Even just day-to-day stuff is not easy for me lately, so that's a lot to reflect on. I feel like some behaviors or things that I see my daughter doing now, I blame myself that I was sick and that I wasn't able to be there for her as much as I would have liked. I mean, I was still there for her every day, but there's a difference between being there and being there, and one of them is you're there, but when you're sick and you're just trying to get through, it's a little bit different. And I'm so grateful for my husband's support, and I'm so grateful for my daughter. To have her here just gives me purpose. I'm really, really grateful for my sister and her support, and my parents. They have been really, really supporting and doing all that they can for me during this chapter, and my husband's family as well, and my friends. They've all been here for me. There's been other connections that I haven't talked to for a long time, and they've reached out, and that's meant a lot. But I think there's a deeper conversation to have. I'm not having that conversation right here, right now, but I think it's really hard to go through a cancer journey. And, you know, if you or a loved one is going through a cancer journey, I just, you know, send so much love your way and encourage you to have those challenging conversations. I'm going to try and have them as well if I can. Maybe Christmas isn't the best time to do it for those who celebrate. Maybe, you know, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you have that holiday season right now, bit of a shutdown period for work, maybe you don't, but it's just a time of great reflection, and there's so much going on, and it's all just a bit overwhelming. And I think the best thing we can do is start a conversation, be there for one another. If you are struggling, I hope, you know, you can reach out to the support services near you. I'll put some links below in the description of this video for Lifeline and Beyond Blue, because I hope that we, from this, can have some conversations that would save a life. That would be amazing. And just know that you are loved and you are created in love, and there's so many people out there that want you to succeed and want you here. And maybe we don't have those conversations enough with each other, but I just really hope that you know how many people love you and appreciate you being here. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.